Alright, so as you know, I work at a gun shop, and I usually get funny stories just talking to people, and this is one of those instances. We had a customer who came in, and he was talking to one of my coworkers, and I believe he was picking up a gun that he had cleaned at the time, and he was just telling my coworker, like, oh, this gun is very nostalgic to me, and I just really like it essentially, and my buddy's basically agreeing with him, and they're basically just finishing out the transaction. As I passed by, I noticed that it's a Beretta Model 70. It's a 22 Beretta, and it reminded me of a gun that I had seen in an anime that I really like. It wasn't the exact same gun, but it was very similar, and it just kind of intrigued me just because in the anime it's actually Black Lagoon, one of the first animes I've ever watched, and it was a lot of fun. I liked it. If you're into guns and there's not very many of those in anime, you'll probably like it as well. But one of the characters actually dual wields this gun. Now it's not the same gun, but it's very similar, so it kind of reminded me of it. I'm like, oh, that's really cool. You don't see Beretta Model 70s a lot either, especially in excellent condition. This is obviously not that gun, but just I'm just playing with it. So he's basically just explaining like how much it means to him and stuff, and I walk by and I'm like, oh, may I see it, and he's like, oh, go ahead, go for it. And so I pick it up and I'm looking at it and I'm like, oh, that's really cool, it's like, and like just for fun, I was just almost talking to myself, but they're both there, and I was just like, oh, you could totally dual wield it. Now when I made this motion, I think he misinterpreted the motion that I made, because all of a sudden he goes serious. And let me backtrack a little bit here. The guy is kind of a shorter, stocky guy, and like from his accent, which I can't replicate very well, so I'm not going to try. He seemed to be Middle Eastern or somewhere in that region, right? And he has a black leather jacket on, just very straight cut, very serious looking gentleman. And his voice drops, and he goes serious mode, and he's just like, how you know this? And I was like, what? And he was like, how you know we shoot like this? And he does the motion where he basically he doesn't have a gun in his hand. He goes like this, and then he has his hand up like this, and he's like, how you know we do this? And I was just like, whoa, breach of protocol here. What's going on, And like, my buddy's just like, he's just standing there like, I have no idea what he's talking about. And he's like, yes, how you know that? We use this technique, And I was just like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Like, I'm so confused. Like, what are you referring to? And he was like, never mind. And he like takes the gun back, and then he just like walks away. And like, it wasn't like in a rude fashion. He was just like, pretty much just done with the conversation essentially. But I was thinking back on it, and I'm like, what if that guy was like Israeli like special ops or something? Because like well, I think he had a yarmulke on, so like he was wearing one of those things, and like I only noticed that when he turned around and walked away. But I guess it isn't super commonly known, but like Israeli tend to like to use 22s for assassinations. It's just an effective round to basically take someone out essentially. You can suppress it really well, and usually you can have it in a really small gun. So just the way that he behaved, it was almost like maybe he could have been Mossad. I don't know. I don't know, and I'm not gonna like confirm this or anything. I'm not gonna say like, oh, dude, I totally know. But it's one of those things. It's like when badasses come in, they're badass because they never talk about exactly what they do. Like, some guys will come in all macho and be like, yeah, I was Navy SEAL, blah, 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 Delta, Dev Group, Force 6, blah, and I'm just like, no, you're not, you know what I mean? Like, but this guy, like, the badasses, they're always, like, really nice and polite, and they never, like, brag about what they've done, And it's just like, I was thinking, maybe. Anyway, moral of the story is, be careful. I mean, I may be killed by a 22 in the next week. Who knows? When this goes on, if I don't make any more videos in a week from now, please, somebody just, yeah, remember us. All right. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll have some more interesting stories for you next time.